This is a video on how to reduce your data using the MATLAB-based data reduction program for hafnium analysis for the new mass spectrometer. Before we do any data reduction, what we need to do is create a folder and put all of our raw data into that folder and the corresponding age file that goes with it. So what I've already done is I've created a folder on the desktop of the lab computer here, and I've placed all of my raw data files into that folder. So here's the data folder that I've created. Just called it data. And in this folder, we have 7 different data files. Some are standard files, some are unknown files, and we have an age table. So the data reduction program can automatically read each of these individual files. It'll basically parse out each individual file by looking for the standard names, and it will call those standards, and then everything else will be unknowns. For the unknowns, you'll need this ages file. So I'm going to click on this ages file and open this up. And all this ages file is a file that you've already created before you started analyzing your hafnium that contains all of the analyses that you ran for uranium lead. Okay, so you ran select groups of these unknowns for hafnium, and now the program will automatically match those analyses up, so each hafnium analysis will have a corresponding age. As you're running a hafnium analysis, the name has to be identical to what your uranium lead age name already is. So for example, if it's BC-13 space capital spot space 155, that has to be identical. It can have spaces at the beginning or the end, but it has to be case sensitively matched with the same number of spaces as your original file name, your sample name. So close this out. And it's a CSV file, so you don't need to rename this. That's actually a critical point. The ages file here, this needs to be a CSV format, otherwise the data reduction program can't properly parse it. One more thing to note, you can either have individual standard files and individual unknown files, or you can just have one long file. The original Excel hafnium calc will require you to have these as separate, but if you know you're not going to use that and you're only going to use the MATLAB version, you can just only use one file. Okay, so the first thing you'll need to do is open MATLAB. Okay, so either a desktop icon or you can search for it in the Windows programs. If you're using the lab computer where the new mass spectrometer is, you'll need to run this program as an administrator. So to do that, right-click on the program, go to Run as Administrator, and you'll type in the password. And that'll open up MATLAB. You'll arrive here on this screen, the default MATLAB screen. Okay, so to open the program, go up here to open. It's in a folder. And it should bring you to the default file path. If not, it's located in C, Users, New Lab, My Documents, MATLAB, NuHfCalc. And you'll open up the one that says MATLAB code. If there are not 2 files in here, the figure file and the code file, this will not work. So you can stop there if there are not 2 files. So if we open the code, we'll see the code screen here. So the code is pretty long, and there will be a separate video that goes over the details of this code. But for now, we're just going to run the program. And to do that, go up here to run, this big green arrow. Okay, and here is the graphical user interface. So you can maximize this just by grabbing the corner. The first thing you'll need to do is set your directory. And so to do that, you'll click on the Set Directory push button. And this will prompt a browser window. Now we need to find the folder with all of our data in it. And so before I open the program, I set up a data folder on the desktop that we'll use. So that is going to, if you're in the new lab, that's going to be located, go C, Users, New Lab 3, Desktop, and Data. And so you just click the folder once, don't double click it because that will go into the folder. Just click it once and press Select Folder. The directory has been set here, and now all you need to do is click Reduce Data. You'll see a weight bar. And so now we have our standard plot on the left and some options to deal with those standards. Your unknown plot, by default it plots an epsilon plot, and a list box with all of the different analyses that have been run up to that point, and a corresponding plot here, plotting by default the final analysis that you've run. Say you wanted to take a look at the 180 concentration for some of your analyses, you can just go through and click anywhere in that list box. It will plot that concentration for either any of the unknowns or for standards. That's it for this video. Just a basic introduction on how to upload your data and start the data reduction using MATLAB, the MATLAB interface.